Northern Ireland, Belfast, in the past. But about 2 years ago, I moved back to Hungary, and now I live in Hungary, in Budapest, as an artist at the moment. First involvement with Terra Nova was with the home project, and it was actually a great opportunity because after I finished university, I was looking for projects where I could be involved with the arts in Belfast. So it gave me it was a great opportunity for me to sort of work with other artists and other artists in different fields. What I really liked about this project was that we got a series of like mentoring at the beginning, so it wasn't like we were sent off to start our work. It was we got prepared in terms of how to communicate, just a series of useful things were given to us at the beginning, and I really liked the mentorship, working with established artists, and I just really enjoyed this build up towards making the actual work. Also, before making the work, I loved working with the community groups, and just sort of the idea of involving the community. So it wasn't just about my thoughts. It was obviously it was about me a bit, but about the community and other artists that we worked with. And the actual making of the art piece was again a bit difficult. I know I had some difficult times with it, but again, with the mentoring, I think it was one of the best experiences. So my art pieces always have this side to it, but I have no idea whether I can finish it in time or not. I just go crazy anyways and see what happens. I had this idea of making an interactive art piece where people can sit down beside each other, and as they sit down above their head, a mechanism started working that sort of imitated the sound of rain. And the more people sat down beside each other, it gave a more fuller rain sound, just to imitate the idea of how talking about the weather in Northern Ireland just sort of brings people together. And because I kind of thought that people living in Northern Ireland sort of they find it really easy to start a conversation just by talking about the weather, complaining about the weather, and then the rest of the conversation just goes on. And I just sort of loved the idea of how easy it is just by grabbing something that's connecting everyone. It's something that everyone can connect to. And I just loved working on this piece, and then I really enjoyed people interacting with the art piece, and I just sort of thought it was successful. It was worth putting the time into it. was also trying to find how I belong to the community as a foreign artist, and just sort of like I was finding myself in this project as well, and also it was interesting to see how local people felt the sense of belonging. So it was a sort of like a win-win, because I was able to, with the artistic tools, I was able to really dig into people's minds, or in this case, because I was working with kids, I was able to sort of dig into their minds and see how they feel, whether they feel they belong to the community or not. And I sort of try to grab this topic through the weather, because it's such a huge character, in that country. And it was interesting to see how people or kids who were born in that country, how they felt connected to their environment. And I found that some of them weren't even that connected, but most of them were connected, and they had their own stories to tell. And it wasn't really, it's not really a topic that you start talking about randomly with someone. So most of the time, what I noticed was they really enjoyed talking about something that otherwise they wouldn't have had the chance to talk about. Does that make sense? And I also loved seeing their drawings and how they interpret their sense of belonging through drawings. And yeah, it was just a nice experience. Okay, so I think this was a unique way of building up a project, because with sort of the mentoring project and the community work, and then making the work and showing the work, this whole package was sort of really unique to me. I don't think I ever had this sort of experience with any other organizations. So I think it was just a whole, it was just a great journey with all these elements. My three words would be unique, meaningful, and belonging.